Hey, sweet D, did you call the tow truck? Because that face is broke down, bitch.
Oh! We are super excited. We are so thrilled, and I am so humbled that we are about to bring to the stream the one and only Jimbo.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jimbo.
Hey, sweet D.
Hello. This is so exciting.
Yes.
We've been looking forward to this literally since the minute that you walked into the workroom. I knew that I just had to have a conversation with you. You are so talented, so beautiful, so amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much.
So one of the things that I just kind of wanted to start with, not much of a question, but you do something that Danica and I both do, which is sing talk. So, we'll kind of start a conversation and then all of a sudden we'll be like, here comes Jimbo.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've done pretty much like your entire life? Is that a quality Jimbo trait?
Yeah, I think I try to sneak some fun in wherever I can. And so, yeah, sometimes I'll try to inform how I'm feeling by a little song at the end of it. If it's like I'm feeling kind of awkward about something, I'll try to like sing it. Usually has a few different meanings.
I love that.
And I have to pick on you and then follow it with a question because you had the cute little aboot just now. So what part of Canada are you currently in?
I live in Victoria, British Columbia.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I grew up in Ontario, but I live out west now.
Very lovely.
Danica?
So, all right. So I have to ask, what was your first exposure to the entire drag scene?
My first exposure to drag scene was through my vaudeville theater troupe, which was sketch-based comedy. And so I love doing character-based comedy and exploring character. And so my entrance to performance was through clown. And then through my clowning, I wove in my drag, and I got into drag that way. And then watching the second season of RuPaul's Drag Race really sparked something inside me where I sort of saw other people that were like me. And it was really exciting and encouraging.
The second season, I think that they tweaked the lighting a little bit during the second season, right? Because season 1 was when the lights were like literally beaming down on them, like, they're like
like melting.
But
drag queens love their light. They're like the opposite of vampires. They're like, give us the light.
we love our light too. So obviously, Jimbo, you stand out in all of the most beautiful ways. Seriously, I cannot compliment you enough. I just really respect everything that you do for the drag community. I respect who you are as a human, as a person. I mean, obviously, I've never had the chance to meet you in person. It's just this energy that you radiate with every project that you do. Saying I'm obsessed with you is an understatement. But what were some of your early inspirations when you were developing the character or developing Jimbo?
Cool. Yeah, I think, growing up, I watched a lot of horror movies. I loved horror movies. I loved watching Elvira. There was this show, The Hilarious House of Frightenstein, which was a character-based show that was had like a spooky Halloween vibe, narrated by Vincent Price, and Pee-wee's Playhouse. So I really liked shows that had this bit of like edginess. I really like all the feelings. I like when people feel excited and a little bit scared and a little bit creeped out and laughing. I love all the feelings, all the vibes. And so I think, definitely like a sense of humor and creepiness and sort of, things that are a little bit off have inspired me all the way along, I would say.
And I had the pleasure of getting to sit down with Cassandra Peterson in Orlando at a convention. Cool. And I just staring at her. I'm like, first of all, I need your skin routine. I need your hair. She has not aged a minute. She is so
flawless. Yeah. Flawless. She made a deal with the devil for sure.
I know. Seriously. If I could contact the devil right now, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
We have devils in certain products. It's fine. We can use those. So when you first heard that Drag Race was coming to Canada, did you just immediately say, all right, that's what I have to do?
Yeah, I was, as a fan of the show and as a performer, it was a dream come true to hear that the show was coming to Canada. There's a lot of barriers for Canadian and international performers to participate in RuPaul's Drag Race. So I was always concocting these plans of how, somehow I was going to have this foreign husband that got me my green card, and I was going to live in America long enough. And, all of it was very improbable. And so when I found out that there was a Canadian version, I thought, oh my God, this is my chance. Everyone had always told me that I would be so good on the show, all of my friends in my community. And it was an amazing opportunity. And so the second I heard they were casting, I phoned my friend Shiraz, who had offered to make me an audition, or to help me with my audition tape should I ever apply. And so I phoned him immediately and I said, now's the time, it's go time. And so we made our audition.
That's perfect.
And okay, our friend I feel like this is kind of a big ask, but our friend Elgin wants to know, and I'm so bad at this, I can't do it. He wants to open up the library and he wants us to read each other. That's such a big ask. I feel like that's tough, right?
Yeah, it's hard when you first know someone, but you could, there's some good ones if you've got any zingers, like, hey, sweet D, did you call the tow truck? Because that face is broke down, bitch.
God. What's like another good go-to one? I want to.
Let's see.
I like that.
You're looking so beautiful, flawless, effervescent. Oh wait, sorry, I'm looking at myself on the computer.
Stunning as always. That's so hard. Like you said, you have a background in improv and sketch comedy, so I'm certain that helps. But that has to be so tough, especially like you said, when you first meet somebody and they're like, "Go ahead, read this person." I can't. It has to be nerve-wracking too.
Yeah, because you don't ever want to be mean. You want to
right, where's the line?
You want the person to be laughing with you after. Right. So, you never want to. It's always those awkward ones where people are just being flat out mean, and you're just like, oh, thanks, I guess.
Sure.
Have you ever been in a situation where somebody's taking a read personally?
Oh yeah, everyone has their sensitivities, especially about if there's something about yourself that you don't want the world to see and the world sees it, it's always drives people crazy. So yeah, that's when a read can go wrong, when it's a little too close to the truth and is not done with a sense of humor. It can be kind of like, ooh.
Yeah,
I can't believe you talked about my face.
Fair enough. Oh. Elgin is talking about when someone called another queen a Dorito. Oh, I remember that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Listen, there's nothing wrong with Doritos. But
yep.
So kind of to circle back, I think that fans instantly gravitated, the second that you walked into the workroom. When did you decide that was going to be your entrance outfit? When did you design it? And how hard was it actually having to traverse the mountain?
Okay, yeah, so my entrance look came about because I had always dreamed of working with this designer, Abraham Levy. I'd really been looking at a lot of his work for many, many years. And so I knew when I was cast that I wanted to wear something of his. And also, not being a known queen, I knew walking into the workroom that the queens would know who I was, but they would know who the designer was that I was wearing. And so that they would go oh shit, this person's fucking crazy, but they're wearing Abraham Levy, so bitch knows what she's doing. And so, they didn't know me, but they knew who I was wearing. And the look came about because I love Mickey Mouse. He's a huge inspiration of mine. And I just really wanted to have a bit of Mickey with me. And I'm also a bit of, sex positive, slut vibes I love. So there was a bit of that dominatrix Mickey Mouse. And then I worked in a bit of my clown with my face being pale and choosing to enter in a character and sort of stay in a character.
And okay, so you mentioned Mickey Mouse. So are you a Disney fan in general, or is it more of a Mickey Mouse thing?
It's specifically Mickey Mouse, but I do hold a place in my heart for Disney along with everyone else, like Ariel, of course. Sweet D has her hair.
She does.
Just wait till I get my extensions.
Oh my god!
And we're gonna steal her voice later too. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
Sing for me.
I will. Don't tempt me. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And how hard was it actually having to climb that mountain?
Oh, that was actually it was actually kind of easy to start. I thought it was going to be slippy. I thought it was going to be, some sort of trick. And so I went through it as I did on the show and kind of was like, oh, this isn't so bad at all. I kind of like this. And then I got to the top and I kind of thought that was the end of the challenge. And that was the time to be serious. And then they turned that band on and I was like, ah! Like just screaming for my
golden. Golden.
Yeah, it was a really funny, hilarious moment. And so, yeah, just blown away, shocked. I couldn't believe it.
Have you seen the videos on YouTube where people have looped that scream for hours at a time?
I have saw that. Yeah, Jimbo screaming like nonstop for an hour or something. It's so hilarious.
Yes, amazing.
She says he was hooked from that moment. Yeah, that's fair.
It's true.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, my husband is like your biggest fan. We have to like compete over like who's the bigger Jimbo fan. But like, he's watched other seasons, but I don't think any queen has really like captivated him the way that you have. I think that you speak to people like on a different level. And you're really special. I mean, I really, yeah.
Yeah, you're so sweet.
She's gonna cry, so I'm gonna take over. So
I'm good.
Yeah.
So you won the first ever Canada's drag race Snatch game. Why is that hard to say? As the, of course, wonderful, fabulous Miss Joan Rivers. Did you ever have any other characters you were considering besides Joan, or was that like that's the only one? You got to do that one.
Well, that was the one I had the most fun sort of developing who I was going to be before the show. That was sort of the most fun that I had in the room when I was practicing with my partner and my one friend that was helping me record. They responded the best to that. I also did Nancy Grace was going to be a choice of mine, but then I used her for my news challenge. And so I knew that my other choice was a character. You're not allowed to choose characters. You're only allowed to choose people. Mm-hmm. And so then that only left Joan.
Interesting.
And I went with.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You have to choose like an actual celebrity human and not a copyrighted character.
Okay, that makes sense. We don't want to get in trouble with the copyright.
Yeah,
fair enough. And is that something that you included in your audition video? Was as Joan?
Yeah. You got to send in some of your choices.
Okay, so what advice would you give to somebody that wanted to audition for the next season of Canada's Drag Race?
I would say, it takes a small village and a lot of preparation and diligence and extreme hard work. It's the process to get on the show was very difficult. Like it's very a lot of work and very little information. They kind of keep everything very secretive, and so you're kind of working with as much information as they'll give you at the time, and then everything is happening very, very quickly in order to keep all the secrecy and to keep everything from being from it being spoiled. And so yeah, it was a really intense process and it was really fun, but they definitely put you through your paces to make sure that you're ready to handle everything that's going to come.
There. Elgin also wants to know if there's any new characters that you're working on.
Oh yeah, always. I always my favorite drag is always my latest, newest drag. I love doing new things and surprising myself. That's sort of one of the biggest elements of clowning is in shared surprise. And so I love finding new facets of myself. And I'm a costume maker as well, which really informs a lot of my drag. And so each time I sort of build a new costume or come up with a new character or idea, I kind of go down that road and try to explore and find other ways to vocalize and physicalize a character.
Awesome.
So just a few more questions, of course, about Drag Race, and then we'll move on to the other things. But because we have so many questions.
Oh, yeah.
So which look of yours do you feel was the most underrated?
Well, probably my hair look, because I loved my hair look. I was like, they're going to live for this. I have all these wigs. It's like, one of the most, or if not the most wigs worn in the wig challenge, I would say. And so I really thought they were going to gag for it, but it was because I did so, mediocre in the dance challenge that's why I was just safe. And so I didn't really get any comment or critique on it, but it would have been fun to get some comment and critique on that look, because I really did love having my tits out and have them X'd out and all my all the hair. I was feeling it. I loved it.
Is there I'm trying to think of a way to ask this, like when you're wearing that much hair or maybe something that's super heavy, is there a way that you, or any tips that you can like distribute the weight so it doesn't hurt? Because that many wigs has to be painful.
Yeah, well, that way it's basically I've made a backpack out of those straps. So the body harness serves doubly as what's holding all of the hair. So
that is so smart.
The wig on into it, but the harness actually holds all of the hair, and because otherwise my neck would have snapped right off.
We wouldn't want that. I mean, it would be great TV, but like we wouldn't want that.
If I had like a head reveal, my head snapped off and a new one came back, that would have been legendary.
Hot.
You're like a Hydra.
Damn, a head reveal.
Wig reveal who? And then there's just rose petals in your neck.
Confetti cannon.
Very important question. Do you believe the bigger the knockers, the closer to God?
Oh, definitely. Of course. Yeah. And the close to your inner diva.
Yes. I love that. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to move away from that a little bit because I am, being a lifelong theater person, I am fascinated and just enamored with your design work. So being that you're a costume designer and a set designer, I'm like, that is a very, very unusual combination. I mean, you're up there with like Julie Taymor. Like it's,
oh my God,
it's unusual to say the least. But so do you have? I mean, you mentioned for costuming a little bit, but do you have a favorite designer for set designs or specific inspirations that you draw from when you're working in theater?
Yeah, I think again, it sort of comes from I go to Burning Man, or when we're not in a pandemic, I often go to Burning Man. I've been 6 or 7 times now, and so I usually go, and there's a lot of forward thinking and art and really cool self-expression and people doing really amazing things with technology and performance. And so going to Burning Man usually inspires me a lot, and I usually try to go and bring back something I've seen or some technique in terms of, using a CNC machine, is what I did for the James the Giant Peach.
Yeah, that's an incredible set. I've seen that show too many times. And I've seen the set for that done so poorly. I mean, I saw it at a high school once, which was atrocious. But I gotta say, just the design for that one alone, I was just like, all right, that's really cool. Because you can see just the step work on the side. Oh, everybody check it out.
Yeah, I worked with a local designer, Andrew Azopardi from Studio Rabazo for that. And so that's another big part of everything I do. It usually involves a community of people. So I'll assemble a little team of who's going to help me. My partner is an engineer, and so when we did our giant rainbow, he helped with the engineering of that. And I've worked with my friend Gabby, who's a lighting engineer. And so every time I do a project, that's the biggest part, is really about having the community around you to support you. And my community supports me all the way from helping make it happen by fundraising and coming to events and parties, and then other members of the community who have different skill sets come in to help make the thing a reality. And yeah, I also do the Rocky Horror Show. I see you've got a poster in the back.
Oh, this old thing?
We're only small fans of it. It's fine.
Yeah, utterly small fans. Yeah, like
we haven't been watching it religiously every year since we were 11. It's fine.
No, absolutely. Like way too young, performing at talent shows, and our parents are like, "Does she know she just said orgasm? Like, what is happening?" But
let's be honest, our parents were like, "This is fine."
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Danica had a Rocky Horror party when you were 11? When you were 12.
I love that.
And
got our parents dressed up.
Yeah, my dad was full on Frankenfooter. My dad went to one of the original premieres in New York with his roommate and like had no idea. He was like, "Oh my God, like this is so crazy. What is this?" And it took a couple years before it really caught on. But I mean, like, there's no doubt it's the biggest cult, hit of all time. But another huge cult hit that Danica and I love, Hedwig. Obsessed. So what was your favorite part about like designing the costumes for that?
I think it was the rock and roll vibe. I loved that aspect of the same with the Rocky Horror Show, that sort of grungy underground, sort of moody spirit, which is at the heart of a lot of artists and a lot of stories about struggle and perseverance of the artists. And so, yeah, I love the challenges and the way that Hedwig overcomes the challenges and really finds a way to frame everything beautifully and to overcome it through song and music and self-expression. And so I identify a lot with that. And so I love that show.
Do you have a favorite song? I know that it's so hard to say like favorite, but is there a song that you just can't help but sing along to when it comes on?
Well, the last song, put up your hands. Put up your hands. Put up your hands.
I don't have a letter, but
they're up.
It's so beautiful. He brings the wig in. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've been doing during this pandemic is watching different, actors' interpretations of roles. And so I went through and watched a lot for Hedwig, but Lena Hall, I don't know whether you saw her. I think she won the Tony for it, but that was groundbreaking. But that's a show I'm hoping that once everything is, once Broadway opens up again or off Broadway or any show, I'm hoping that they'll bring back Hedwig because I think it's one of the
I
best.
ended up going to New York and seeing it on Broadway, and by chance, just by random luck, James Cameron Mitchell was performing that night as Hedwig.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it was mind blowing because I told my friend, I was like, "This is just like Hedwig. Like this is just like Hedwig. How is this person doing it?" And they whispered, "They're like, this is
actually
it's him."
Fuck, this is him. He's like, it was just one random week he had to fill in because
Anthony Michael, or no, who was it? It was somebody broke their ankle. The guy from Dexter.
It's someone. It was like that week. Someone was filling in, and he couldn't do it, and so we saw him do it, and it was absolutely transformative, mental. Yeah,
that's one of the only musicals that I actually want to direct. I usually do like plays, but that's one of the only musicals that I can abide actually directing.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, to pivot a little bit again, what aspect of clown work do you find the most challenging? And like, what don't people see of the work that kind of goes into creating clowns, or the biggest misconception about being a clown?
I think the biggest misconception about clowns in general is that they're scary. And I think, like the essence of clowning is really about being a conduit for joy. And it's about being a mirror for your audience and sort of taking your audience the places that they want to go without them necessarily having to go there. And so my favorite part about clowning is just being completely present and just allowing yourself to surprise yourself and just surprise your audience at the same time. And that's the essence of clowning. And when the turn goes as it's supposed to go, it's everyone, it's sort of a magical feeling. People are like, what the hell did I just watch? That made me feel so weird. And I love that. And it's just about really being very truthful, vulnerable, and allowing yourself to just be seen and not second guess what you're doing. And that's pretty much the hardest part, is to take those risks, to be completely open and allow yourself to just be a total whack job, and then to not personally own those ideas in the moment. So, a lot of the time I'll finish my number and someone will come up to me after and go like, "Oh my God, like the part where you did this," and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, I kind of forgot I did that." And it's like, but that's all part of it. You just do it. You do, and you can feel the audience is like, no, they're not that, but they want you to go there. They want you to stick 50 hot dogs in your mouth. They want like do whatever you're going to do. And so it's a really magical feeling. I love that.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
So Jude wants to know, what advice would you give someone that, you know, is uniquely different or eccentric in life that may be struggling with their own identity?
I would say start by loving yourself and finding ways to accept yourself and to radiate your own sense of self so that it slowly fills your outer self and your environment. And so that can start just with small things on yourself about the way you appear and the way you dress and your, you know, your daily drag, sort of allowing yourself to take those risks to explore parts of yourself and to show the world that part of yourself, and to not second guess those things, to really say, I am unique and I have my point of view and it is my point of view, and I will feel confident in that. And you know, it's a lot just about the confidence in oneself is what the world just, everyone's on your side. They want to join in with you. So if you want to have half white and half purple hair, you want to have, you know what I mean? If you want to have it and you feel it, then everyone's with you. They're like, fuck yeah. But if you're like, oh, this is nasty and I look like I'm not quite sure and it's then everyone's like, well, I don't know either then if you don't freaking know. So, you know, I think it's all about just owning your sense of self and really allowing yourself to have a sense of self and take risks with those things. And then, you know, surround yourself with the things that you love. That's what I love to do is to find all the things that bring me joy. You know, if I find a little antique or I find something sparkly or I find joy in all kinds of things, and I try to surround myself with that. And it inspires other people to do the same. You know, people come over to my house and they see the way I live and surround myself with all my little tchotchkes and my things and my masks and my beautiful things. And it's all a choice to do that. And so it really gives people the freedom to say, oh, okay, I'm going to do that too. I don't need to have, you know, I can do what I want. I want to have a picture of whatever on my wall, to have the picture of whatever on the wall. You know, there's just allowing yourself to just be free, I think.
Awesome. Very well said.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think a lot of people, it's a fear thing because society, like, you know, you feel like just everyone wants to judge you. And I think the big thing is fuck it, right? Like, fuck the standard, you know? We can live outside the box.
Yeah, exactly. And you just give as much power to it as you want to. I mean, if, you know, I spend not a lot of time really explaining why it is like that. It's just like that. That's the way I like it. And that's how it is. And the less you sort of like analyze it and question it, and the more you just say that is my state of being in my personal state, the less that you really have to like dissect it and start feeling weird about it. It's just like, that's all about acceptance and diversity. It's all about seeing differences and those parts that trip you up in differences, just accepting them immediately and loving them. It's a different way, I guess.
I love that. Mm-hmm. All right, one more big question before we move on to our game. What can you tell us about where you are in the process for House of Jimbo?
Yes, I can tell you. So we did our Kickstarter fundraiser, which when I did the Kickstarter, I didn't realize that we had to make all of the money. So we ended up having to borrow a bunch of money to crack the thing to get it out. So in the end, we have about $25,000, which we donation. Yeah, it's awesome. So we made about $4,000 to the or not that much, I can't remember. It was 10% of the actual money that we raised. We donated to the Rainbow Railroad, which is awesome. I think it was roughly around $3,000.
Oh my god,
it's incredible.
Yeah, it cool.
Oh my god.
I know, it's amazing. So we all together, all of us combined, you know, helped in the process of saving someone's life. And they were so grateful. They said all of that money went directly to a refugee. And so that was absolutely incredible. And at this point, so I have my studio here with my partner, which I'm currently in, and we've taken over the studio next door. And we're currently renovating it to create a sort of a swing stage where we can film other sort of external bits that aren't going to require us to change our house. And so the show will be filmed partly here in the studio and then partly on our swing stage. And the idea is to create a pilot to pitch and to sort of gain momentum and get some more backing behind the project. And so at this point, it's really in the researching, workshopping phase and the gathering of the equipment. And sort of the idea is to start with a YouTube channel and to make some ongoing content and to sort of really make the development of the show into sort of part of the show and sort of just seeing, a lot of the things I take for granted, like how do I make a costume or why do I choose the things I choose, or all of those things that seem obvious to me are actually, I guess, interesting to people that are learning and doing those sorts of things. So, so we're still developing, we're still thinking, and coming up with ideas. I'm doing lots of research, and we just want to take our time with it and make sure that the ideas are developed, because I also have like some really cool people I want to collaborate with. And so I just want to make sure that the ideas and everything is tight so that the right thing is put out. How
exciting. Yay. I mean, like, boo 2020, yay 2021, House of Jimbo. Whoa. Very exciting. Jimbo versus Kid Cadet, Australian accent.
Oh crikey, you got an Australian accent, do you?
I don't know. I really don't work at it too much anymore, but like I really feel like I should, You've
got a great one on you, don't you?
Do you really think so?
Oh, yes. Absolutely incredible. You must have just come out of the outback.
Yeah, I just did, the outback's right over there. I walked right over here, and now I'm in Miami. That's hard. I feel like I always want to go British with it, but it's like, Danica, can you?
That has gotten so much better.
Who, mine? Really?
Yes.
I just got put on the spot. That's why. Like, because I didn't have time to think about it.
I gotta tell you, my Australian accent is only good when I'm plastered. So,
well, you better start
give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Yeah. We go to get you there. Well, Danica.
I know one person from Perth, and she does not appreciate it when I actually do her accent.
Oh, it's good.
That's good too. I feel like you're from a different part of Australia.
Perth.
Yeah. Are you from Perth? That's exciting. We'll have to visit sometime. All right. Sorry. I'm going to drop it now. Before we go into the game, Jimbo, do you have a favorite artist or a group that you like to lip sync to?
So lip syncing is probably my least favorite part of the job. I love connecting real time, and I love exploring. And so there's something to me about everything happening and then my voice being quiet and then me just going like, there's something in the energy just trapped in the silence. And so I have a really hard time with it. And I love to almost like sing kind of along to the music when I'm supposed to be lip syncing. I just say, fuck it, I'm just going to sing this because it doesn't feel right to me to have all this stuff on and be marching all around, but then to be silent. It doesn't make sense. I'm just like, but I'm not saying anything. And so I'm working on it. I really want to get better at that part. It's just a really weird part for me about it. But in terms of music and choosing music, I love to choose things that make people think and that are a little bit kind of weird and have a little bit of a throwback vibe. I kind of think of it as though, if I have to do this, and this is my opportunity then to make people in a club listen to something that they're not going to hear already. And so I do, Screamin' Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on You. I love the vibe of that one. Bum, 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 bum. I love that vibe of it. Mm-hmm. And so that one feels really good when I do that one. And I do a Hedwig song. What the fuck is it? Sugar Daddy.
Ooh, that one's my favorite.
Yeah. I love that one. So sort of like that grittier rock one. And so it depends. I do one Work From Home. You can work from home.
I see no problem with singing along to it. It has never made sense that you like cannot sing to it. For me, like that just doesn't make sense. But I think maybe that's just more in my theatery-ness.
Yeah.
It was like
it's supposed to be like the illusion of
right.
that person, and that person's voice is not on the radio. It's actually coming out of you. And I guess I just don't care about that. So I'm just like,
make it your own.
Right. But I think also because you actually can sing, it's a little different than, maybe when people aren't as good, then they're like, but the fact that you can sing. But I have to say, like, we really loved your interpretation of Barbie Girl. So
yeah, I love that song. You know, like Video Till the Radio Started, like those kind of like weird or kind of off one. I love like the feeling of that, and I like Prince, Cream. That's a really good one. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay,
I'm behind all of these.
So we have a game we're going to play, Jimbo. This is a game of Would You Rather. There's no wrong answers. And if you want to elaborate on something, feel free. And if not, we'll move to the next one. So, Danica, do you want to go first? Okay.
All right. Would you rather wear the Becky with the good hair look every day or wear the Canadian tuxedo look every day?
Oh, yeah. The Becky with the good hair, big time. I love swishing my hair around, and I'm basically naked. I love the Canadian tuxedo, but it's hot.
Oh,
fair. And I feel like eating would probably be easier with the Becky with the good hair look because there's so much denim happening here.
Yeah, unless it's windy.
Fair. Okay. Here's the next one. Would you rather, have Pee-wee Herman show up on the House of Jimbo or Elvira show up on the House of Jimbo?
God. You read my mind. I literally DM'd both of them to try and well, of course, what that's like the hardest choice of all time. I have to pick. I'd have to pick Elvira, but you know, I'd be really, you know, it's so hard to pick. They're both so iconic. They both mean so much to me. I guess, you know, I don't know. It's almost impossible.
We'll have to make a lip sync for their life, and then whoever wins can be on the show.
Yeah.
Everyone's screaming both. Yeah, both. Both. You can have both. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would love like I could do this, have them both.
We'd happily watch.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather? This is a throwback to your days in the biology field.
Yeah. Like,
spend a month with lemurs in Madagascar or spend a month with quokkas in Australia. Mate.
Oh my God, and in Australia. God, they're both so cute. The little quokka has like a cute little chubby face.
So the ones that are like always smiling, but be aware those things are riddled with disease.
Oh, we love them though.
Riddled, just like me. I think I'd pick the lemur because it looks like it's ready to party. It's like, yeah, you want to have a good time?
Yeah.
I love to hang out with a ringtail lemur. Are you kidding me?
He looks a little demonic, but that's all right.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a fit.
I've pet one before. They're really soft.
Aw. All right, here's the next. Oh, Danica, are you next? Or am I next?
No, I just did that one. You do the next one.
Next one. Would you rather have a sit-down conversation with Buffalo Bob from Howdy Doody or a sit-down with Bozo the Clown?
Oh, big time Bozo. Yeah, I would love to be with Bozo. That would be so fun. I love that show.
Yeah. That's awesome. And he's another not scary clown.
Yeah, not at all. Look at that picture. He's totally fine.
Yeah.
He's not Casey, you guys. All right, calm down.
Fair.
All right, next one. Would you rather design the Beetlejuice set or design the costumes for Little Shop?
Oh my gosh. Well, I did the puppets for Little Shop before, but the set for Beetlejuice would be amazing. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I just love that set so much. I love that movie so much.
Same. Yeah.
I have to ask, have you seen the set change? Like there's like a ridiculously quick set change for the musical on Broadway.
I didn't even know there was a Beetlejuice musical.
It's first of all incredible. Second of all, the set is so insane. It's like it goes from like the normal house to this in, I want to say it's under 30 seconds. It's an intense change. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very and yeah, that's your homework, Jimbo, is try to find the music for the show. It's very fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Okay. Would you rather lip sync to only, so for the rest of your life, you can only lip sync to Kids Bop songs or lip sync to Norwegian death metal?
I think I would do the Kids Bops. Kids Bops, and I would dress like a Teletubby, a big slutty Teletubby.
Oh my God. Which one? Who's the sluttiest Teletubby?
Yeah, Lucy.
Love it. Which one is which?
What a slut. All right, next one.
All right, would you rather recreate the Dance Magic Dance video or recreate the Opposites Attract music video?
Big time David Bowie Dance Magic Dance. That movie was another labyrinth. Is hugely transformative. I love that show. I love that movie so much. I watched it a billion times.
I like this comment. Instead of Teletubby, Teleslutty. That is really good. Teleslutty. Oh, God. Some people are so quick. Okay. Next one. Would you rather duet with Puddle's Pity Party or duet with Clownvis?
Oh my God, I had no idea about Clownvis. That guy looks amazing. Well,
he's a clown Elvis.
That is amazing. And I would pick duets with Puddle's Pity Party, but he's so beautiful and amazing. I love the way he sings.
Yeah, super talented singer. Ridiculous.
Dream to be his backup dancer.
I bet we can make that happen.
Yeah.
Let's find out. We'll look into it.
Yeah.
And last one.
Yeah. All right. Big knockers or big wigs?
Well, I would have to say my big knockers. I do love a big wig, but I just don't feel right in the morning if I don't start the day with some big tits.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Hallelujah. Big knockers for the win.
Great.
So, don't we all? So, Jimbo, you have been an absolute pleasure. Is there any final thoughts that you want to leave us with here today, or anything you want to plug?
Well, I guess check out my Tits in the Box new video I made Tits in the Box for Christmas. That was a lot of work with my partner, and I have it on my YouTube channel.
Brilliant.
Yes.
I guess the other things I'm making music right now. I'm working on music with my friend Andrew Taylor. So I'm hoping later this year to have some music to release. Tits in the Box was our track that we did. That was sort of like a take on the Dick in a Box. And so I love singing and making music. And so I'm really excited. This year's gonna be really exciting. Some music, and I'm just working on upping my game everywhere I can. So I'm hoping to just keep being amazing, keep sharing joy, and keep making friends, and just having the best time. That's what I want to do, is just spread love, spread joy, and make friends.
Yay. 2021, year of Jimbo and Teleslutties. Woo woo.
That's a good idea. I'm definitely keeping that idea.
Hell yeah, it's yours.
You're gonna see that in the house.
Patent pending.
Right. Jimbo, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Kid and Danica. You guys are so sweet. This was so much fun.
Yay!
Come back anytime.
Yeah, we would be absolutely honored. I mean, we literally had to cut our questions in half because we're like, we have to be mindful and respectful of your time. So we would be honored to have you back again.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
Awesome.
This was so fun.
Yay! All right, everybody, be safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and we'll see you guys real soon. Oh, boy.